Hello everybody and welcome to this little documentary behind the scenes video kind of thing, where I'm just going to talk about how I made Reset, basically just the steps of how I made it and little fun facts and basically just behind the scenes stuff. So while I explain, I'm just going to show you this speed paint of the art for chapter 10. I didn't record the line art because I have never done something like this before and half of the video is corrupted. Please don't be mad. So, Reset. Of course, at first I needed a script. But before I wrote the script, I decided that I wanted to have a little base. Something that basically shows me the direction of where I want the script to go, shows the events for each chapter, and so on. It was a very good idea of me to make that base, because usually when I write stories, it ends up not making any sense, because when I'm at chapter 5, I forgot what I wrote in chapter 1, basically. So I made the little script base, and then I went on to writing the actual script, which took me around 5 months. I put so much work into it, but it was really cool and really worth it. So once I had all the chapters done, I sent them over to my good friend Miro, who checked through them and made sure it all made sense and the logic was good and it was interesting and basically just understandable to the viewer. Or in this case, the listener. I finished the script on July 27th, 2020, one day before my birthday, just in time. And then I went on to find voice actors, if they weren't there already. I had a lot of voice actors ever since spring 2020. So I sent them the script and eventually sent them a deadline until when they could send me their lines. Once I had them all, I went on to the sound editing, which I will talk about later, because I also have recorded footage of that. So for now, I would like to share some things about the drawing. As you can see right now, this is the only line art that I actually recorded, and it was pretty horrible. You guys have no idea how hard it is to draw Papyrus without making him look absolutely terrifying. But yeah, I did all of the art and the animation for chapter 10 as well in paint.net. At first, I made like a basic sketch of how I wanted it to look in real life on paper. Then I took a photo of that, put it into paint.net, and then I started drawing. I don't have a drawing tablet, so I used this pretty cool tool where you can make a line and you can drag it and make it look smooth. That was pretty cool, and that was basically just what I used for all of the art. I did some shading, and my shading style and basically my general art style changed so much ever since the start of Reset that I had a bit of trouble with like combining different art, basically. For example, in chapter 6, when Nemesis first appears. At first, when I made the art, you could see it there for a split second. At first, when I made it in December, I didn't know that I was gonna add Nemesis, or wasn't sure how I was gonna add her. So I just made the entire art piece without thinking about Nemesis. And then I actually had to add her in June, like a week before chapter 6 came out. So I think it looks kinda out of place, it kinda looks like she doesn't fit in there, but it's probably fine. I've changed my art style, and the later art is much better. For chapter 9, or in this case chapter 10 for example. I also did all the thumbnails and everything in paint.net, which really isn't that hard. I just had to put text over it. And yeah, that's basically it. For now, just enjoy the rest of the speed paint and I'll get back to you later. Alright, here I am again, and now I'm going to talk about the sound editing, which of course is the major part of Reset. It's an audio drama after all. So, for the sound editing, I use the free software called Audacity that you can just download, and it's really cool. It's very easy to understand, but it still has a lot of features, and it was just perfect for this. So if you want to do anything regarding sound design, just use Audacity, it's really great. So, after the voice actor sent me the lines, I cleaned them up a bit, which means that I removed all the background noise and basically just anything that was annoying or didn't fit in it. Then I did the bass, which is what you can see me do right here. I just went through everybody's lines, cut out the sentences and put them in the right order so that it actually became a scene and not just people reading a script. Once that was done, I cut everything into a bunch of different scenes, which you can also see me do later. I made sure that all the scenes were between 2 or 3 minutes long, because if it got longer, it would have just been messy with all the different sound designs and with all the different sound effects. It would have just been way too much, and I did actually try that for chapter 1 when I wasn't as experienced, and I eventually accidentally ended up deleting half of the chapter. That wasn't cool. So after I have it split up into a bunch of different scenes, I went to each scene and I did the timing, which makes it human. Because you're not gonna be in a conversation with somebody, ask something, and they either respond like a second before you finish your question, or 5 seconds after you ask your question. So that's why timing was really important, and I put a lot of effort into it. And yeah, once that was done, I did the sound effects. I had a lot of them recorded already, or I just got them from sites or YouTube. A bunch of sound effects were actually recorded by me, and I am very proud of them. After the sound effects are done and the timing is done and everything, I added effects, for example reverb, or adding filters so that it sounds like somebody's talking in a different room. In chapter 10 I added a filter which makes it sound like it's coming from a speaker. I added that to all of the voices and the sound effects, and yeah, once that was done, I was pretty much good to go. I exported all of the scenes, I put them into another project, I put it all together, made sure that it was like smoothly flowing into each other, and then I did the music. The music was also mostly written by me. I can just plug an USB stick into my e-piano, and then most of the time I just sat down, improvised something, and was like, huh, that was good, and then I put it into the scene. I have to admit, sometimes I had to do like a lot of stuff with, for example, changing the speed of music just so that it fit the scene. But I'm just going to pretend that that was totally on purpose most of the time. And especially when it sounded really bad because I sped it up or made it slower, I'm gonna pretend that that was totally on purpose. Anyway, once the music is done, I then export the file, and yeah, that was it. That was the chapter. I still have a few more seconds to go, so now you can watch me struggle trying to sync the ending of chapter 10 with the audio for the animation. It was really hard. Video editing. It's either my favorite part or my least favorite part of Reset. It really depends on my mood. So, for the art for chapter 1 to 9, I had a lot of different versions with like just a bunch of the characters, all of them just one, depending on the scene. So what I did in this program, by the way, it's called Pinnacle Studio, and this one isn't free. So what I did is I put the versions of the art that I needed into this project and timed it with the audio so that it would look like they were really leaving the scene. Once that was done, I moved on to the subtitles, which was basically the easiest part, but it was the most time consuming because I had to go to the script and copy a sentence, put it in, time the subtitle, and then do that again and again for every single sentence. If you want to, you can just watch the time right here. I always worked until like 1 a.m. because I just wanted to get it done. And yeah, that was pretty much the subtitles. For chapter 1 to 9, I always had the same ones, either these gold ones for the characters or the silver ones for the narrator. Since the narrator wasn't there in chapter 10, I just decided to give it a bit of color and spice it up a little. Just because I kind of wanted to do that from the very beginning, but yeah. Once the subtitles were done, I looked through it again, made sure I made no spelling mistakes and it was all timed well. Then I exported the video, put it into another project in the program called Movie Maker, which is free. And then I just added everything together, like for example the intro, the chapter name, the main video, and the credits. Then I looked through that again, and then it was pretty much fine. Also, another fun fact for chapter 10 regarding the music. So in chapter 10, for the entirety of the chapter, an ending is playing, and I played that by myself. But I had to play it at such a slow tempo that it just sounded really distorted, and it was so hard for me to play it so slowly, so I added it at the very end, when everything else was done. Even the audio was already exported, but I just slapped that music over there at the very end, like a day before the chapter was uploaded. Alright, now on to the credits. I love doing the credits, and in this video you can just see me scrolling through Discord trying to find everybody's names because I was scared that I was gonna spell it wrong. But yeah, I basically just had this really cool line of text where I could just add everything and put in the names and credits, and it was really cool. Alright, yeah, that would pretty much be it for Reset, I think. This was extremely hard to do. I didn't even have a script and I am so bad at just talking freely. I hope this was informative. If anybody has any questions, you can just go ahead and ask me. I really hope this is fine. I have no time left because it is the 28th and I really wanted to upload this on the 28th. So I hope it's fine. Thank you a lot for watching and I hope it was cool. I hope you enjoyed it. And well, I'll see you around. Bye!